guys, hello. I am Tammy Hodges. I'm with Polka Dot Wreath Co. I'm also one of the business and creative coaches here at Deco Exchange. So I wanted to make a quick grapevine with you guys this afternoon. Alright y'all, so I have this 10-inch sign, and what I'm going to do, for this particular design, I'm going to put my sign on first. I usually don't do a lot of signs with grapevines, but like I said, this morning I was on Facebook for a second, and I saw a sign that said, bunny, it's not about it's Easter time, it's not about the bunny, it's about the lamb. And it kind of inspired me to do this design today. Alright, so I punched my holes in my sign with 8mm jewelry punches with a jewelry punch. Deco Exchange does carry those, or at least they did last time I checked. So I take this 26 gauge floral wire, I just put it in my sign, make sure it's even. I go ahead and twist it around. With grapevines, it's a little bit harder to gauge how you're going to do this because I'm going to have a lot of greenery around this. So I'm going to come right up through the guts of that grapevine. Make sure that doesn't stretch that sign. Okay. So now my sign is on there, and we can go ahead and start this design. We're going to use this is 61691, which is a really close cousin to 60919, and I'm not kidding when I tell you that. And then we're going to use the 60919. The most important thing you have to realize is you need to spread your baby flowers out. Get them some breathing room. Spread them out before you stick them down in there. Now, I don't need this entire, I don't need it. So as you see, when I stick this down in there, do you see how that goes off to the side like that? Guess what, friends? If you're using florals, especially from Deco Exchange, they're going to be wired, and they're going to be really well versed in being able to be moved. So if you need this that way, you can move it that way. If not, you can move it the other. But just make sure everything is spread out. I really like these. They were available at Deco last year. I don't know that he has any in right now. So spread your flowers out. This is going to be one of those designs that's going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. Alright, right now what I'm doing is trying to find a spot behind the other one. There it goes. Okay. So now we're going to use some of this 60919. I'm obsessed with 60919, and they all have this little twig that comes up out of the top. I always do this with it. Why would you not? Needs a little doit doit. Okay. Spread your florals out. I'm going to intertwine the 60919 with the 61691. I was like, what's that number again, Lord? Always take the time to do the little things to your florals that might make a big difference for your customers. Okay. So I really don't even need okay. Let's bring this down here. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm grabbing one more bush of 60919. Listen, these bushes are inexpensive enough that you can use 3 or 4 in a design and still get over $100 for your product easily. Now, this is the only time you're ever going to see me do this. This is why I like the 60919. I don't need a full bush at the top, but if I cut it apart, it comes apart in 2 perfect segments. So I'm going to look and see which one's the longer one. That is. So right here where there's this emptiness going on, guess what? Boom. You fill it in with that 60919, and then you take this bottom one, you spread it out, because remember, we need some breathing room. Okay, so right here, where this is empty and it's just a real blunt stop, you don't want that. So I'm going to come up underneath, I always call this the skirt. I'm coming up underneath that skirt. I'm going to start spreading the news. This all needs to be undone. So you get that 60919 in there. Super pretty. And now you have this gorgeous, we're not done yet. We're not done. Don't freak out on me, y'all. We have a few other flowers that I want to put in there. Okay, and these are just little baby flowers. These are just little at-home flowers. I used 3. I've used 3 60919. So whenever I add the extras, I start at the top. And remember, I don't go straight in. I don't put them straight in. I put them in at an angle and I bend them if they need to be bent. So now, do you see the little flowers in this basket? I want to recreate some of these little white ones just here and there and everywhere. Just in a couple of places. Now I will tell you, I don't like those leaves, so they're coming off of there. Okay, so as you see, I'm just coming right up through here, every little bit. So there's that. And now what I'm going to want to do is, if you have an Easter design and you don't soften it up with lamb's ear, I don't know that we can be friends. Every Easter design, I like to find some lamb's ear of some kind. And I'm just going to stick it in a couple of places up on the top. It really is for mere accent, nothing else. I just want it for the accent. Literally 2 or 3 strips is more than enough. Alright, so now we're going to work on a bow. The bow is going to be very simple. I have this velvet Craftex ribbon. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do before I do my bow is I'm going to add some ribbon strips through this. You ask, well, Coach Tammy, how do you do that? I'm just going to cut a piece off. I dovetailed it. I'm going to hit this with a pick so it's going to look like a ribbon tail up through there, where in fact we didn't have to do that. So I'm just going to eat my Wheaties. I'm going to throw a pick on top of that. I'm going to hit it with some glue. I'm going to spread this open. It's an optical illusion. Alright, now lift up, insert. And then I'm going to do a really fun bow, and we may or may not leave it. I'm really liking the look of that and not a lot else. I'm going to pinch, twist, loop, pinch, and this is thick ribbon, so you're going to have to hold on to it, and if you can't, then you're going to need to put it in the Easy Bow Maker. Okay, I'm giving this some tails very purposefully. So I did a 3-loop bow. Now I'm going to mix this hot pink gingham right on top of it. And like I said, we may not keep this bow, but I certainly wanted to try to see if I liked it. giving it some tails. Now, because this is a really thick material, I'm not using a Chanel stem. However you say it is however you say it. At this point in my design, I need to be able to have this hanging up on something really, really, really sturdy. Okay? I don't like it where it's at. Now, if we did move it, ooh, maybe I do like it. Oh, Lord have mercy, who said that? Ooh, there's a lot of stuff back in there. Let me see. Yep, that comes straight out. Gotta go down. Okay. So if the only reason I would consider it is I hate this hydrangea. Or whatever that is. I don't like it. So, I'm going to come back up underneath here. Let me come up in between its legs. In between its legs. Let me see if I can get it to stay. And y'all, if it smashes too much of the florals, I'm pulling it out of there. So this is one time that I will tell you I actually like it better here than where it was. I'm going to tell you what I don't want. I do not want all of this 60919 hidden. I don't. It's a gorgeous flower, and I don't want it hidden. So number one reason I did not want to do this. So there you have it. That is exactly where I would put that bow, but this is exactly what I would do with this design. It makes a really pretty design with a metal sign that's still cute, and if they don't want the sign, they can always cut it off. All right, y'all. That's all I got for you. I hope you enjoyed it.